Namaste. So there is a question about the psychological difficulty which some people encounter when they are transiting from a state of crass ignorance towards a state of wisdom, knowledge in the true sense, not panditya. Panditya is a dangerous thing. True knowledge that comes through an awakening and growth of consciousness. And the stage is hypersensitivity, excessive sensitivity. So what happens to sensitive people? I'm sure we all know that sensitive people are like delicate instruments. Even a passing breeze and they do dhang. And it has two extremes. One extreme is where you think everything is with reference to yourself, automatically. Somebody said so. Why did he say? The person is not bothered about it. He's not bothered about you. He said casually and went away. But you feel that it was said, directed towards me. It was meant to. Its extreme form can be. It was meant to humiliate me. Meant extreme sensitivity. Its other extreme is where you become a martyr. You start taking suffering of others, thinking that by doing it you are going to lessen the burden of suffering, because you are sensitive. And you would keep all that within yourself and you take other people's suffering, allay it. So often people think, oh, this is, somebody asked mother, why I am so sensitive and it's so bad. She said, who told you? It is a stage of spiritual evolution. What is that stage? When the ego, from its crude state, in the crude state, you are cruel. You feed upon others' suffering. We have seen that recently. You enjoy other people's suffer. Cruelty is the farthest point of the ego, most distant from the divine. When you willingly and consciously inflict suffering on others, it's will to injure. See, that is what ahimsa is about. Ahimsa is not incompatible with war. When you defend a nation, when you defend an ideal, it's perfectly fine. You are not wanting to inflict pain and suffering. But when you want to inflict pain and suffering, that is hinsa. And people who have hinsa and violence of that kind are very weak and extremely, of a very crude kind. Vulgarity, crudeness. So this is an extreme from where evolution starts. Then there is another where you don't inflict suffering, but you don't care about what's happening. You are just bothered about me and mine. As long as I don't suffer. Then sometimes providence has its own way. It brings suffering to your doors. Don't be so insensitive about what's happening in the world. Then comes another stage where you begin to feel the pain and suffering of others and your own. Even the slightest thing makes you suffer. Now that's when the ego has become ripe. It is ready to now evolve to the next spiritual stage. It's not by becoming hard-hearted or becoming a stone that man can become a sage. There is a difference. Sage does not suffer, nor a stone. But man is not supposed to become a stone, he is supposed to become a sage. How to do it? First step is detach yourself. Don't be so much concerned about yourself and thinking about why somebody said so, why somebody did so. Is it really relevant to start with? How does it matter? So one thing which he advises is detach yourself. Now, detach is okay, but your consciousness is now, it needs something to be attached to. So attach yourself to impersonal work, where you forget yourself and you are in the work. Work is a great purifier. See, when we have nothing to do, then the mind ponders over all kinds of things. But when you are busy with work, but here also, you should learn to forget yourself. And to that extent that you forget that you have forgotten yourself. So, otherwise, oh, see, I am doing so much, I have done so much all my life, but see, again it comes back through the back door. So this is the second part, impersonality. Third is widening, a kind of generosity where one understands. People don't mean anything. Most of the time they are what they are. And every human being is grappling with their difficulties. It's okay. When we work upon our own difficulties, we develop a sunny tolerance towards others. We understand it's not easy. Somebody asked me that, oh, I know this sadhak or that sadhak and this, that. I said, see, you don't know a sadhak because you have not undertaken this life. When you undertake, it's like somebody say, oh, military man is, oh, wonderful, what a uniform. But ask him what he has gone through. It's not easy. So when we work upon ourselves, we understand the difficulties of others and we develop a wideness, generosity. And fourth is, many times people just want to turn their thing away. Offer it to the mother. And fifth is, go to the root of it. What makes you hurt? Somebody remarked, oh, you don't know. It makes you hurt. Why it makes you hurt? You want to be recognized as a knowledgeable person. Or it is such a good thing that the person reminded you that you don't know. You have a chance now to shed that ego of the knower. I'm giving one example. Oh, you don't do the work well. So what has made me suffer? I want recognition of some kind. But am I doing work to prove myself to somebody else? Or am I doing work as my offering to the divine? But at the same time, yes, I must do it better and better. I must learn. One can learn from the babble of a child. Somebody says, you don't look good. Anyway, that's a very, I don't think people bother about it and they should not bother about looks. But it could be something else, anything. And that time we have to say basically why we are giving so much importance to these opinions. See if there is any truth in it. Change yourself. Be thankful. That's why divine, when he wants you to evolve, will keep near you somebody who will criticize you. It's a grace and a blessing. Okay. Those who have only flatterers around them, be sure that divine has right now forgotten you. And those who want to keep flatterers around, they have blocked their own avenues. So divine has perfect selection. Some people say, oh, I have this partner. Don't doubt the divine wisdom, okay? Divine is wise. He knows what you need. And receive it like that. Have the humility to accept life and move on. So these are some of the ways by which we can get rid of this sensitivity. But essentially it lies in forgetting oneself through work, through offering, through meditation, so many ways, by detaching oneself from these movements, looking at them as passing waves. And this is the way to come out of it. Namaste.